How are you guys? Prepared a bit of a theory lesson this occasion, and a lot of drummers I know over the years that didn't necessarily have any formal training. We're always curious to know certain time signatures and what they meant, such as a 6/8. Lads would go, Phil, is that a 6/8? So I just wanted to explain it and actually show you how simple it really is to understand. Obviously, if you have any questions, drop me a line. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll certainly send you on any more information that I can as well. So let me give you a quick crash course in understanding values and how you count them and what you can do with them, okay? So a quarter note or a crotchet, and excuse my very shit handwriting, just scribbled this down a few minutes ago. Quarter note or a crotchet is counted simply 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can have more than 4 crotchets in a bar. A bar is really any value. Just depending on what you see, it could be 4/4, 6/8, 12/8, 5/4, 19/16, 10/16, any variance. Now, needless to say, a 4/4 is the same as 16/16s or 8/8s. So for now, we're just going to keep it nice and simple and continue on this basis. So quarter notes, how do we count them? We count them simply 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 notes or a quaver, we count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And the plus symbol that you see here is universally used to represent the word and. 16 note or semi-quavers counted 1E and a 2E and a 3E and so forth up to 4E and. So what's a bar? Well, a bar is any kind of value, any music value that shows the time value beside it. So for example, if you see 4/4, you're playing typically 1, 2, 3, 4 in the bar. You see 6/8, you're playing 6/8 and so forth and so forth. It can be any of the above. And in some kind of intermediate to advanced music scores or drum scores that you'd often see a combination of 4/4 and 6/8 and 7/8 and different time signatures depending on what you're reading on the bar. So bear with me 1 second and I'm just going to explain this a little bit more in detail. So here you'll see a question mark over 4, question mark over 8 and a question mark over 16. I haven't got into semi-breves and minims. This is quarter notes, 8s and 16s are the most common term that we use. So I'm just going to stick with this for the minute. So let me just explain what I've put down here on the paper. So below the line you see the number 4. That represents crotchets or quarter notes. And above the line is the number of times that we play it. So if you've seen a 5 and over 4, it simply means you're going to count and you're going to play 5 pulses of quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, to resolve it back, you'll just go back to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 bars of 5/4 there, effectively. Again, for 8s or quavers, whatever's above the line, it's the number of times that you play it. So you simply count out on your fingers, whatever the value is, and that's where it resolves. So if that was a 7/8 pulse, for example, you would simply go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 7 pulses of 8 notes. So you'd go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and so forth. Now you can modulate in the sense that you can kind of change your, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and so forth like that if you wanted to for a 6/8 groove. But you can just take it that, again, a lot of drummers count that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for a 6/8 groove, which is perfectly fine. Or again, the conventional way, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and count now 6/8s in the fingers. Now sometimes you might go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, just to help you syncopate with different accents in the snare or the bass drum, depending on what you want to do with it. Now here you've seen I have a note saying 12/8. Again, this is a very common time value that we use as drummers, and it's predominantly in kind of blues shuffles, jazz and so forth. The difference between typically the 12 counting 8s like 1 and 2 and all the way to 12, we don't do that. 12/8 is known as triplets, 8-note triplets. We count 8-note triplets as 1 triplet, 2 triplet, and so forth up to 4 triplet. So 12/8 simply is 4 sets of triplets in a bar. So you're going 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, i.e. 12 beats of 8-note triplets. And typically that would be, as you know, the blues shuffle, dum dum dum, bat dum dum, and so forth. So again, over 16, you don't see a whole lot of over 16. You'd see it in the likes of Dream Theater, progressive rock, bit of jazz, bit of funk perhaps. I love grooves like 1916. So effectively what you do is you'll count it up to 16, not necessarily counting in one hand all the way up. You might go, for example, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and da da da, so forth. So what I'm doing is I'm counting up to 4 and, which is 16ths, 16 and adding 3 more 16ths on, which are 1 E and. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 E and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and. And that's really as complicated as it gets. So if anybody would like to send me a comment, drop me a note, subscribe to the channel, I'm gladly send you on some other time signatures or go into a bit more detail if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. Cheers.